A shy 19-year-old truck driver walks into a recording studio with $4 in his pocket and a song in his heart. What happens in the next 10 minutes will change music forever. Stick around, because this is the moment before Elvis became the king, and it's more human than you ever imagined. January 4th, 1954, Memphis, Tennessee. Elvis Aaron Presley clocks out from his job driving a truck for Crown Electric Company and heads to 706 Union Avenue. There sits a small storefront with a sign reading Memphis Recording Service, and underneath it the promise, "We record anything, anywhere, anytime." Elvis had been here once before, the previous summer, when he paid $4 to record 2 songs as a birthday gift for his mother, Gladys. Today, he's back with that same $4 and a dream that won't leave him alone. Sam Phillips, the owner of Sun Records, isn't even there that day. His assistant, Miriam Keisker, is running the desk. She remembers this polite young man with the unusual voice. When Elvis asks if he can record again, she sets up the microphone and presses the record button. For 10 minutes, Elvis pours his heart into 2 songs, I'll Never Stand in Your Way and It Wouldn't Be the Same Without You. These aren't rock and roll. They're ballads, romantic and earnest, sung by a teenager who has no idea he's about to revolutionize American culture. But here's what makes this moment extraordinary. It's not about perfection. Elvis's voice cracks slightly. He's nervous. You can hear the vulnerability, the raw yearning of someone who wants something so badly he can barely contain it. Marian Keisker hears something else entirely. She hears something that doesn't fit into any category she knows. After Elvis leaves, she writes a note on the tape box. Good ballad singer, hold. Here's the part that movies always skip. Nothing happens, not for months. Elvis goes back to driving his truck. He delivers electrical supplies. He comes home dusty and tired. His mother asks about the recording, and he shrugs, trying not to hope too much. But Marian Keisker remembers that voice. When Sam Phillips mentions he's looking for a white singer who can capture the feeling of black rhythm and blues, Marian tells him, I've got just the guy. 6 months later, on June 26, 1954, Sam Phillips called Elvis in for a proper audition. They spend hours trying different styles, different songs, nothing clicking. Elvis is getting discouraged. Phillips is getting frustrated. This might be it, the end before it even begins. Then, during a break, just fooling around, Elvis picks up his guitar and starts goofing on an old blues number called That's All Right Mama. Something clicks. Bassist Bill Black and guitarist Scotty Moore join in. Sam Phillips rushes into the control room and shouts, "What are you doing? That's it. That's what we're looking for." That recording, born from that moment of play and spontaneity, becomes Elvis's first commercial release. It launches everything, the concerts, the movies, the legend. But it all traces back to January 4th, when a truck driver with $4 believed in himself enough to try. David Chen, a music historian at Vanderbilt University, explains it this way. What makes that January demo so powerful isn't the quality of the recording, or even Elvis's technique. It's the naked hope in his voice. Every artist remembers their first time, that moment when you put yourself out there, unsure if anyone will care. Think about this. Elvis Presley, the man who would become the best-selling solo artist in history, started by being willing to sound imperfect, by being willing to try when he had no guarantee of success, by believing that 10 minutes in a small studio might lead somewhere beautiful. That $4 demo wasn't just about Elvis. It's about every person who's ever stood at the threshold of their dreams, unsure if they're good enough, wondering if they should risk the embarrassment, the rejection, the disappointment. Elvis didn't walk into Sun Records as the king. He walked in as a kid who loved music and dared to let someone hear him try. The distance between those 2 versions of Elvis, 10 minutes of bravery. So here's what that cold January day in Memphis really means. It means your first attempt doesn't have to be perfect. It means the gap between dreaming and doing is smaller than you think. It means that sometimes the most important thing you can do is show up with your $4 and your hope and see what happens. The next time you're scared to try something, remember that Elvis was frightened too. His voice shook, his hands probably trembled, but he sang anyway, and 10 minutes of courage changed the world. Elvis's story reminds us that before every legend, there's a moment of doubt, a moment when someone chooses courage over fear. What was your moment? When did you walk through a door, not knowing what would happen on the other side? Maybe it was your first job interview, the day you asked someone on a date, or the moment you decided to start your own business. These aren't just memories. They're proof of your bravery, and your family needs to hear them. What would it mean to your grandchildren to know that you were scared too? That you felt inadequate but tried anyway? That success didn't come from being fearless, but from being brave enough to act despite the fear? These stories aren't about bragging. They're about showing the people you love that courage is possible, that dreams are worth chasing, that taking that first shaky step matters more than being perfect. Write down your $4 moment, the time you invested in yourself when you weren't sure it would pay off. Record the story of when you were just like Elvis, standing on the threshold, choosing to try, because these stories are your legacy. They're proof that the people your family loves didn't start confident and booming. They began as humans and became heroes through simple acts of courage. History Sparks celebrates the courage to begin, the bravery to be imperfect, and the power of that first step. If you've taken a leap of faith in your life, if you've ever had your own Sun Records moment, join our community. Subscribe to History Sparks, hit that notification bell, and let's keep reminding each other that every extraordinary journey begins with one ordinary person deciding to try. Your story matters, your courage counts, and someone needs to hear it.